Hey y'all. Oh, he already coming through. Hey, do I have to invite you? Can you try to? Okay, there we go. Hello, hello.
Hello. Yeah, I'm always early. I'm always ready to go. How are you?
I am awesome. I am the queen of reality TV. So many things out there about me. Half of them are true, half of them are not.
You know what they say. If people aren't talking, you're not doing something right.
Period. Look at your hair. You look good. Okay, love it.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
ready to
you. Being
go.
outside of the house has done me very good. So
Yeah,
I've
you
been
look
enjoying
good,
that.
baby. You look good. Make sure you guys come to the screen. Tap the screen, please. We have the iconic Jimmy in the building. Period. Okay. Period. No.
Yeah.
So if you heard anything about me, Big D told you. If you ever heard how we met, it's even hilarious. But I do ask questions that make people uncomfortable. All the things. 'Cause that's just how I am. But I can know about you. You don't give a shit about any of that type of stuff. So anyway,
I love the uncomfortability. I was
I know
dressed
you
as
do. I know.
for
I know
today,
you do.
so
So like, it's gonna be fun. So one of the questions I want to ask you is your iconic status going into the game. Did you have any idea you come out being called iconic, which you are iconic?
I I still haven't really seen that happening, but I'll take it. I'll take it. I went into the house just wanting to unvarnishedly be myself, authentically and unapologetically, and I feel like I did that. I know the people closest to me have always told me they're like, no matter what people are like saying online, like who we saw on TV is who we know you to be, and I take a lot of reassurance in that. So if people want to call who I am an icon, I mean, I'll take it. But I had a really good time on the show. I know going on it, all I just wanted to do was to be myself, and I feel like I did that, and I'm really happy with even just the short amount of time I was able to spend on the show.
You made a big splash, even though you was there for a short time. It's a Big Brother bubble. You don't really know how movies are being played outside the house. Looking back, do you feel like what you saw online matches what you felt in the house? Because you guys have no idea what's happening.
That's a good question because the Big Brother bubble and like mist is real, right? Like we have no idea what people are saying. We have no idea how people are going to feel. We have no idea what perception is. And I've talked about this a lot, but I think Riley's perception and the things that were going on in his personal life were things that none of us knew anything about. And so I think leaving the house thinking Riley would be America's favorite to seeing that he was actually America's least favorite is very interesting. Um, and I think that's one of the biggest shocks. And we always kind of guess what people are talking about based on what we're asked in the diary room and what we're guessing perception is going to be based on how things are going to be shown. But at the end of the day, we have no idea how storylines are going to be edited. We have no idea how things are going to be pieced together. So we speculate. But yeah, Riley was the biggest surprise for sure in terms of like the perception in the house versus outside the house.
So much on Riley. But anyway, trust. That cowboy hat I can't. Trust and regrets. Do you wish you had trusted Rachel? I'm sorry, I'm gonna phrase this again. I know you trusted her. What I'm saying is just stuck with her period and nobody else, or do you regret putting faith in others?
That's a good question. I think at the beginning I wish I put more faith in Rachel from like the get go. I mean, Rachel and I were working together on like day three, but like I wish from the get go I realized the opportunity I had to work more closely with Rachel, and I wish that somebody like Rachel, Amy, Ashley, and I were able to come together more officially because there was a lot of tension between Amy and I very early on. It never made it to air, but day three she was trying to get me put on the block, and so because of that, I mean that ended up being the reason I put her up at the end of the day. But I think there was more of an opportunity to lean into the people who were going to have my back from day one, rather than somebody like Morgan and Mickey, who Morgan was, I think, was true to our alliance at first, but very quickly strayed from that and saw me more as an op than somebody she wanted to work with. So I wish I hadn't trusted Morgan as much. I feel vindicated in some of the people I've trusted, but I do wish I had taken a more critical lens sometimes to some of the relationships I was forming in the house.
Ooh, I love that response. Speaking of the girl, let's start with Morgan. From outside, it looked like a love hate dynamic. Some fans even felt like she hated on your social game and your connection to Mickey. Did you see her strategy in the moment, or do you think she was threatened by you and Mickey?
I think she was threatened by me and Mickey. I think she saw how close Mickey and I were getting within our little triple threat alliance we had going on, and Mickey and I just had an easy chemistry. We were people who didn't have to try to be around each other. Mickey's like a lot of my girls back here in DC who I just cut up with and hang out.
Right.
So it was very natural, and Mickey and I had a much more natural connection than Morgan did with either of us. And there was even a certain point, I think week one or week two, Mickey and I were talking about being suspicious about the social game Morgan was playing. So I think that trust was reciprocated, but she definitely saw Mickey and I as being a threat to her. I'm not sure if Mickey ever told her. Maybe I should have asked her. But Mickey, I'm pretty sure, told Morgan that I told Mickey that I would take her to final two over Morgan if it was us in the final three. I think she might have told Morgan that. But at the end of the day, I think that's why Morgan ran Mickey's HOH and pretty much coerced Mickey to put me up because Mickey was considering Vince. Morgan is to Vince as Jimmy was to Mickey. And so it was a smart move strategically for Morgan to get Mickey to break her and I up. So in a way, it was good gameplay, but unfortunately it came at my demise.
Yes, it did. It did. I have to talk about Mickey's betrayal. Many fans felt Mickey putting you on the block was a straight up betrayal, especially how it went down right before nominations in the mirror. Oh, just let you know real quick. Hey, you're on the block. So for your perspective, did you see it that way, or do you still feel like protecting her until the end?
I mean, if I had stayed, if I'd won that blockbuster, if I'd made that first ball in and ended up beating Riley, my goal was to work with Mickey. I saw this as an opportunity for us to strengthen our relationship at the end of the day, because I'm like, listen, there must be something I'm doing that she is not trusting. And in the world I come from, continuous improvement and always correcting your position is important. So I didn't take that as an insult that she was up. I potentially saw it as a learning opportunity or an opportunity for Mickey and I to really talk through things that we maybe hadn't talked through. I wish that I had the foresight to do that before she put me up, because I think if we'd had a solid, 2 to 3 hour conversation, just fleshed everything out, I think Mickey would have seen that Morgan was trying to play her. And at the end of the day, that could have led to Morgan or even Vince going up instead of me. But I did see it as an opportunity to work with Mickey if I had stayed. And I would have used that position to pretty much get her to lean into me and Rachel and to target Morgan, Vince, and Zach. Because at the time, my view of the house at that period of time when I went home was me, Ashley, and Rachel versus everybody, essentially. So if we could get Morgan or Vince on the block, bring Mickey closer to us, bring Ava and Will back into our orbit, we can take control back of the house. And instead, Mickey started a chain of demolishing our side of the house. Maybe I had a part in that by sending Amy home, who knows? But Mickey, I went home, and then Rachel, and then Mickey, and then Will's gone. So it's Keanu and Kelly's side of the house and Vince's side of the house that are running things at this point, primarily due to that decision from Mickey and Morgan running her HOH.
Wow. That everything you said is really how I felt. I think you guys could have, you, Mickey, and Rachel, and even Ashley could have ran that house and could have got Morgan out. That's just me being honest, okay? Strategy versus loyalty this season. Big Brother is supposed to be about strategy, but a lot of people, including myself, say this season has lacked both strategy and loyalty. Do you agree?
I agree. Everyone who's playing the game, they get rid of, and so that's tough because I was playing a game that I think strategically in the house people didn't see as well, but when I leave, the people I'm protecting are all of a sudden vulnerable, or all of a sudden on the block, or all of a sudden going home. And so in a way, I think that vindicates some of my gameplay at least a little bit, that the people I was protecting when I was not there to protect them were all vulnerable. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people, there's this two-sided coin of people not thinking far enough in advance and people thinking too far in advance, which is why we're having those ridiculous conversations about upper and lower jury. Right. But in that same vein, some people don't actually think what my actions this week, how they affect me next week. And Big Brother really is week to week. You need to play the game based on the week you're in and getting through that week and what your relationships and actions mean for that week. We have to consider what outcomes or what impacts they have in the weeks beyond that. And I think this cast is very strategically stinted, and I think loyalty does not exist for anybody in this house. I think we're seeing that this week, and spoiler alert, but I think Vince is potentially leaning towards putting up one of his final twos on the block. And Kelly's the final two with him, and he's put her on the block 3 out of 3 HOHs. Like, what kind of game are we playing here, people? Like, it is actually mind-numbing sometimes to watch. And the people who were playing the game strategically all got sent home. Like, Kelly doesn't know what show she's on, and she's still there. Why? I have no idea.
She has 20,000 lives. I don't know.
She really does. She's a cockroach. You can't kill her.
Oh, my God. Not a roach.
I want to go wherever Kelly is because she will be safe.
So this is a question I want to add. This is my question. Some of these people are fans, but this is my question. Why was Kat and Lawrence protected so much? I just don't understand that. Even, there was this alleged with what it was, how Kat was talking to Ashley, kind of a little bullying, just a little bit of meanness. But why was Kat never targeted? It was like she's the darling of the house. I never saw it that way. It never gave that for me. I'm just curious what was going on.
Yeah, so I can speak for my experience. I got close with Kat and Lauren during my HOH, really, and then continued that, obviously, when Lauren won HOH, and then when Riley had initially won HOH, was kind of continuing that trend. Right. To me, I viewed myself as a bridge, in a way, between Catherine and Lauren and Morgan and Mickey, and then also Ashley, because Ashley was kind of always in my orbit, whether or not I was really working with her. Right. And I really thought in the back of my head, I'm like, everybody thinks it's the girls and Jimmy versus everybody else. Well, if they already think that, we're getting the negatives of an alliance without the benefits of an alliance. So to me, I wanted to be some sort of a bridge and find some ways we could work together. To your point, there was things Catherine was saying about Ashley, or things, Mickey was saying about Catherine, that just like, we're going to be irreconcilable at the end of the day. And I think me being so close to both of those duos of Morgan and Mickey and Catherine and Lauren actually ended up having neither of them trust me as much as I trusted them. But nobody targeted Catherine because I don't think they saw Catherine as a threat. I mean, I saw Catherine playing very socially smart. I saw Catherine as laying low for a minute and then getting into the thick of playing the game when she needed to. And so that's why I was leaning into working with her, because I saw her as the threat she could be. But I think people were sleeping on Catherine and Lauren a little bit. I mean, look at this point. Lauren's won 2 HOHs. Yeah. Lauren had a veto win, has won some of the most iconic competitions in Big Brother. And up until this point, we have 2 weeks until finale. Finale's 2 weeks from yesterday, and Lauren has not been put on the block once. So I think maybe that's something Vince should have considered week 1, or even something that I could have considered week 2 was putting them up. But they've definitely flown under the radar in a way that that can be helpful in Big Brother, because if Vince hadn't had to put up a 4th nominee, I think Catherine would still be there. I really do.
I do too as well. The whole situation with you and Keanu, especially seeing where he is in his gameplay, do you wish you would have worked with him more in the house?
Yes. Oh my God, yes. So my frustration with Keanu comes from that I liked him so much and I wanted to work with him from the get-go, but it comes back to me that he's calling me the head of like a snake, or saying that I have an all-girls alliance, or trying to get Vince to put me up. So then I go to Vince and I say, have you considered putting Keanu up? And then that kind of started that whole back and forth between Keanu and I the first 2 weeks. Okay. I will say at the end, once we got through all of that, I actually felt like I had an opportunity to work with Keanu, because we were both winning competitions. He still has a really bad social game. I think it's gotten a lot better, but that's where I thought I could help him, is with his social game. And he could work to help me with comps, even though my win rate was pretty good by the time I'd been eliminated. And so I saw an opportunity to work with Keanu at the beginning, and even after our feuding per se, I saw another opportunity to work with him in a way that was, as we called it, trust forged by fire. And I really thought that was something we could have leaned into a little bit. But at the end of the day, my ploys to have him keep me, I think, were always on deaf ears, because I do think him and Vince, in our storage room conversation we had after Adrian's eviction, is really what sealed my fate at the end of the day.
I want to get into the Rachel situation, because that's been like a trending and sad topic for a lot of us. Like, people are still in mourning. Okay, should have had on black today, but we wear black. So, give me your opinion about that, because I know you were closer in the house, and she's an iconic player, iconic person, period. And the internet blew up for like their views went down. Apparently, people want to boycott the show a lot. So, give me your opinion about the whole situation.
Yeah. I think it's double-sided, right? Because I think Rachel deserves more as an icon and a legend of the show. Mm-hmm. On the other side of that coin, and I think this is Julie said this, but she made history in her own way, right? And in a way that's maybe what Rachel wanted. I think Rachel would feel a lot better about this if she had not been first to jury, if she had been last out pre-jury because of a twist like this, because she would have gotten to make history. She was not on the block. She didn't have any eviction votes. She got an HOH, so she won a comp. And then she gets to go home to her family. Sitting in the jury house, I think, is the worst thing for Rachel right now. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, she did make history. And if you don't win the show, you want to be robbed. You want the fandom to think something was taken from you. And in a way, for Rachel, it was. So I think at the end of the day, Rachel's in a great position. She's still a legend and an icon of the show. I think there are a lot of people who went into the show not excited to see her, who rally behind her right now. And I think at the end of the day, it's really good for her. And they were talking about her on the Emmys red carpet last night. That's her dream. So I think at the end of the day, it actually worked out for her, even though it did feel like she was done a little bit dirty in the process. But that's Big Brother, right? Expect the unexpected.
It is. So now that you watching the show now and you left the house, give me your opinion for each cast that's still in the house right now.
Okay, lucky for you, I have a little graphic right here because I've been doing a lot of I'm trying to figure out who's going to win. So let me pull it up and look at it so I can give you a good read of everybody in the house. Okay. Ashley, smarter than people think. Ava needs to go. She's lazy. I love her, but Ava's lazy. Will, he is going to really enjoy the jury house because he loves a nap and he loves alcohol and they have the jury house. Keanu, good at comps, bad social game. Lauren, boring. I love her, but, doesn't make good TV, but plays a good game. Vince, I despise, and I'm ready to see him off my screen. Same thing with Kelly. Kelly, She's the cockroach I wish would just roll over and go. And then Morgan's my winner pick at this point, which is
Really?
crazy. I mean,
Really?
I think she's won 3 vetoes.
Mhm.
She's hasn't won an HOH, but essentially she's ran 3 HOHs. She ran Mickey's HOH,
Yep.
she ran Vince's most recent HOH, and she's running Vince's HOH again. So give me a woman who's playing this game hard, pulling herself out of a hole in weeks 4 and 5, which was her low point,
Yes.
pulling herself back up PR wise and game wise, and essentially has ran 3 HOHs and won 3 veto comps. That, I mean, she's building a resume, and I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, and Morgan, look, if Morgan takes Lauren out, the same person that she saw with Zach, that's going to be an iconic move. And it's not even her HOH. I'm sorry. I don't care what anybody says. That's going to be so iconic. Yeah, that cheap man, I ain't talking about that. So,
Can I tell you one thing that I hope could be an iconic moment? I said I was doing jury math, and this is one of those jury math. I could see Vince, Morgan, and Lauren being final 3,
okay.
and at the Vince wins final HOH and chooses to take Lauren to final 2 because he thinks he can beat her. And at the end of the day, the votes would stack up 3 votes for Lauren, with Morgan being the deciding vote, giving the win to Lauren because Vince backstabbed her. That's a situation I personally would love to see. No, I don't really want Lauren to be the winner, but
right.
I would anybody but Vince or Kelly to me at this point. I just can't with them.
Why not
That's-
Vince? Why not Vince?
I would have more respect for somebody who stands behind their decisions. Like, is it strategic to regret decisions or cry about them or say you were played? Sure. Once, maybe twice. If you do that for every decision you make, it's disqualifying.
Yeah.
Vince also had an opportunity to take out Rachel. Now, if you are not in my situation or in Ashley's situation, you should be gunning to take out Rachel Riley. The longer she stays in that game, the more dangerous she gets. And for Vince and for Keanu, HOH is back to back, and Rachel did not touch the block once, is a testament to Rachel's gameplay, but it disqualifies Keanu and Vince from being winners, in my opinion, because you cannot win this show if you're not willing to take a big shot. And they both had an opportunity to take a big shot, and Vince sent home Catherine.
So let me ask you a question. Do you agree? This is what I said. I felt like that Keanu was too scared to take the shot at Rachel, and then I want America mad at him for taking her out, and just tried and begged and pleaded on his knees and cried for Vince to do it, and he didn't. So do you agree that he won? He was scared of what America would say. Look at how America acted with Rachel leaving the house.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if it was that he was scared of what America was thinking. I mean, obviously he didn't make the move himself, even though he was pushing Vince to do it really hard.
Right.
But like, I was watching the feeds, and he was gut checking how people felt about Rachel going up for his renom. I mean, Keanu, I think, was considering putting Rachel but like a smart HOH wanted to make sure he had the votes. He had the foresight to do that, but he did not have the intuition, because if he had had the intuition, a lot of people said, oh, I'm 50-50, or no, I think I'll keep her, which if they don't give you a yes, they're going to obviously vote to keep her. Right. But I do think at the end of the day, most of the people in that house are smart enough to where if Rachel had been sitting on that block after the blockbuster, they would have sent her home. So he did not have the balls to put her on the block. He went around to double check to see if anybody would send her home. Most people said no. Obviously, people are going to say no. You want Rachel to find out that you've been saying that you would evict her if she was on the block, but if she was on the block, people would take that shot. So I think he lacked the balls to do that, but he did have the foresight to gut check that decision, even though it didn't really work out for him.
Right. Let's talk about Miss Ava Pearl. Now, Miss Ava Pearl was on the top list in the beginning. Everybody loved Ava, baby. What happened? Did we miss something? Did you see that in the house before we saw it, or what? Because no one likes her. They don't even want her in the house anymore. Like, it's crazy.
I mean, we saw what you guys saw. Ava's lovable and really fun and super funny. Ava is one of the most unintentionally funny people that I have ever met. Like, even like she would be dragging her microphone around, swimming in the pool, singing, feuding with production a little bit, just like about sleeping late or not sleeping late. So those things were really funny. We always saw that part. I think what turned is there's Ava's a great person, but I think being in the house for so long, it can bring out a nasty side in people. And I think maybe it just brought out a little bit of nastiness that existed in there. I think, especially when people talk about, like, listen, I'm a nasty bitch, and I say a lot of shitty things. But one thing I don't talk about is people's families. I don't talk about outside world, as it doesn't relate to the show. And I think when we get into those areas, the fan base is very protective over that sort of almost unspoken rule that we have about not crossing those lines. Ava's crossed those lines and has stood behind crossing those lines. And I think that's what really pisses people off.
Well, also too, when Rachel left, the whole arm pulling and saying, calling her a bitch and all this, I was like, wait, who is this? Like, is this the real ever? I mean, this girl was not that girl in the beginning. That was a different person. Like, what's happening? Like, the world did not want her to be the fair player. They said she's not going to win. They're going to fight, make sure she does not. And she literally thinks that she's iconic, and she's not. Unfortunately, it's crazy.
No,
Um,
that ship
so
has sailed like the Titanic and has
man,
sunk, unfortunately.
it's down at the very bottom thing. It blew up like the whole ship did. No shade.
Yeah.
Um, so fans want to know: was there anyone in the house you could see yourself with a showman's with?
Maybe in another life, Rachel. I think Rachel and I would get along very well. So maybe in another life, I could see myself showmancing it up with Rachel a little bit.
Oh my god, that's so cute to me. Okay, so this is another cute question. They said, "Food in the house. What's one meal or snack you missed the most while being in the house? What's the first thing you ate when you got out?"
I'm a big beef lover. I love steak. I love beef, like way too much. And so I think one of my favorite meals in the house was actually Will's anniversary dinner. We got some. Big Brother gave us some really nice ribeyes, and we had shrimp, ribeyes, broccolini, mashed potatoes, and it was a good, wholesome family dinner. It was week one, so I'm pretty sure it was before like a lot of the craziness happened. Listen, after a certain point, those family dinners made me want to slit my wrist, but that first one was really nice, and it felt very summer camp. And celebrating with Will and enjoying Mickey's cooking was very wonderful. I had a fillet when I came out of the house, so it's all about beef. But yeah, in the house, Mickey cooked dinner that night. I cleaned it up, but it was a great meal. Compliments to Mickey and Morgan for cooking that night, and celebrating Will's anniversary was definitely a highlight of being on the show this season.
Oh, that's so cute. Speaking of the house and cleaning, I know Rich cleaned a lot. I know you cleaned as well. Was the house nasty? I'm sorry, I have to ask.
Oh, it was. I mean, you have to start walking around in shoes all the time because these motherfuckers are so dirty. Like, it's crazy. And shout out to me, Rachel, Zach. I'm going to give Riley credit because Riley was a cleaner, and Kelly. The five of us were the only people cleaning that house. We got Ashley to Swiffer one time. We got Ashley to clean 3 dishes at one point. But most people didn't want to clean. And most people did a really bad job of cleaning. And for me, it's not just cleaning. Like Rachel, Zach, and I can take care of the Swiffering or cleaning the counters. But if we fluff the pillows in the wine room and fold the blankets and you come in there to have a conversation and then just get up and leave, like how hard is it to push the pillow together, karate chop it, and set it back? Like, guys, we're trying to maintain a house here. So people always ask, was the bathroom the hardest part to keep clean? No. With a group of 16 people, the kitchen was the bane of my existence. I could get around. I could get around the house. I could get around the bathroom. I could not get around the kitchen.
That's gross. Okay, I just don't understand that. But okay, so if you had to pick a song as your Big Brother theme song, what would it be?
Oh gosh. Is there a song about being sent home? No. I would say not just to put a fine tune on the Miley Cyrus shout outs I've been doing, but Something Beautiful is an album that Miley has recently released. And the title track, Something Beautiful, I think really represents my time in Big Brother, because I do think my time in Big Brother was something unique and something interesting and something beautiful. But just like the song itself, because the song is a really long song filled with a mixture of different genres and vocal stylings, and It's very chaotic. And I feel like in a way that matches my gameplay. It was maybe very boisterous at first, and then it had a calming moment, and then had this striking chord that hits as you're trying to figure out what's going on around you. And that to me is week 4, and the song is about 1 minute and 20 seconds when the rock starts. Like that to me is week 4. And so I think that song itself really encompasses what my journey was like in the few short weeks, the 31 short days I spent in that house.
Don't say short days. It was iconic 31 days. I couldn't about to say the chat. So what's the funniest or wildest DM comment you've gotten since leaving the house? I know you've gotten a lot. A lot.
So it's not really a DM, but it's a cameo, and I think this one's really funny. Somebody's bought a cameo for me so they are having a baby, and they want their doctor to induce labor, but the doctor does not feel like they're ready to have induced labor. So the cameo was purchased from me to tell the doctor to induce labor on this woman, so she can finally have. Oh
my God, are you serious?
Yes, and I had to utter the words, "Get it the fuck out of me." I'm giving the baby an eviction notice from my will.
Oh my God, I cannot. That is crazy. But I get it. They had that for everything. Like, that's pretty cute. Okay, so if your brother called you tomorrow for All Stars, are you packing your bags or are you saying I'm good?
My bag's already packed. I'm ready to go.
Period. So
I have a lot left that I didn't get to show in that show. I defend my game to the end because I do feel like I was playing a better game than some people saw. My competition win rate was pretty good. I do think I was doing a lot better strategically than some people think. And again, I think that played out with the fall of my allies after I left. And I'd really love the chance to go back in the show and tear it back up, show people the real reason I got cast on the show, and show them that I really am a strategic mastermind in a way that I don't think I was really able to show. So I'm ready to go back on. I have a lot left to show the show.
Well, apparently by my chat, my people are telling me that the show's back on. You know, they know all the tea already. Lauren's been renommed. Your thoughts on that? I was gonna wait.
He actually did it.
Uh-huh.
If he did,
I'm gonna double check it, but they're saying that Lauren's
listen, if I were HOH this week, even if I had a final two with Lauren, I'd still put her out. We have 3 nominees left. Finale's in 2 weeks. If you haven't been on the block yet, put on your boots. Time to fight, girl, because you need to be put on the block. You cannot not be on the block this close to finale. I would have put you on the block. Anybody on the block if they hadn't been on the block at that point, for shits and giggles. So I'm glad he put her on the block. It'll be interesting to see how the blockbuster goes, because this is the first blockbuster, I think, where both Kelly and Keanu are going into the blockbuster. So that's exciting because we've been trying to get that done since week 2. So who knows? I think knowing Vince's HOH, Keanu doesn't. So let's play this out for Keanu, or for Vince. If he wants it to be a successful HOH, Keanu needs to go home. I was arguing that for Lauren last week. And I'm rooting for Keanu in a way, but if you want a resume builder, sending Keanu home is a great way to do it. If Kelly or Lauren goes home under Vince's HOH, that's a 3rd failed HOH and further disqualifies him from winning the show.
Wait, they said he saved Ava?
Wait
a minute.
They used the veto on Ava.
Oh, wait a minute. I gotta look this up now. Crap.
I'm doing it too. We're twinning right now. I think they used the veto on Ava.
That's insane. She cried all freaking week about this shit. I'm so happy. Whatever. That's insane. I need to go to
Lauren is the replacement nominee. Wow.
So she is.
Shout out to Big Brother Buzz, because I love these little graphics. Yeah. So Morgan used it on Ava, which doesn't surprise me. I had no illusion that Morgan was going to use that on Keanu.
Same.
They were each other's number 1 ops since like week 2, week 3. She was not going to use it on Kelly. Morgan does not like Kelly. None of us in the house do. So that makes sense. I guess it makes sense. Kelly was also saying in the house on feeds this week, she was like, oh, if somebody tries to use the veto on you, can you just say no? I'm so ready to see this girl off my TV screen.
This is going to be insane. So I know we have the double eviction on Thursday, and then we have something else tomorrow, right? Because we didn't have anything Sunday. So we have tomorrow, and then we have the double eviction, which I cannot wait to see double eviction. It's going to be so intense. I've been waiting for this the entire season. Oh, my God. In your opinion, what do you think is going to happen? I know it's going to be crazy. We got blockbuster, we got double eviction, all this kind of stuff is going to happen. Give me your scenario if, and this is a big if because Ashley's not winning anything. If she actually wants HOH on double eviction night, what do you think is going to happen?
I would love that. Well, first off, I would hate that because I'd love for Ashley to hear from her family, and you don't get to hear from your family if you win HOH on double eviction. So that aside, I would love it because it would be very chaotic and it would be the perfect cherry in the top of a double eviction Sunday. And we may have 2 double evictions because we're 2 weeks from finale and they need to get rid of 4 people. Right. So who knows? Maybe another one around the corner, but I know I'll be reacting. I'll be reacting with Big D amongst others at House Shops Philly this weekend. So I'll get to live react to that double eviction. But I hope Ashley pulls it out because that would be really cool to see. And I think Keanu, if he doesn't go home this week, Keanu is one to worry about in a double eviction. And I also think Vince could go home in a double eviction. So I'm eagerly looking forward to seeing Vince go home. If you guys are with us at Barstool Bar in Philly on Thursday and Vince goes home, I will take so many shots. It will be so much fun. I will be having the time of my life. So I'm manifesting Vince elimination.
So Vince, I think that the way this looks for Vince's resume, putting Lauren up, even though I understand we want that to happen, it's going to look like he put up somebody who saved him. Even though she did save him with lunch is not whatever, but she still saved him. So it's not going to look too good for his resume. What do you think as far as him putting her on the block?
I think Vince has a terrible resume. Yes, he's won 3 HOHs. I think he won a Vita. Maybe it's just been 3 HOHs. I don't know. He's won comps. Yes, that's good. What has he done with those wins? And I think that's what defines a winner of Big Brother. And he has done shit with those wins. He sent home Zay first week, which maybe that was a good competitor. But it's also like Zay's won Zay won nothing. Zay didn't win a blockbuster. Zay didn't win a veto. Zay didn't win 2 of the power-up comps we had. I don't understand the arguments, and I love Zay, but I don't understand the arguments saying that Zay was a threat. So I don't see Zay as a resume builder. I think his second HOH, Catherine went home. Okay, love Catherine. She's a great girl. Who was she? Like, you could have put up Rachel and sent home Rachel, and you chose Catherine. That's a failure. And in this situation, if Keanu doesn't go home, because Vince could have had an incredible resume. Say Zay goes home because he knew nothing about anybody week 1. Zay goes home first. Second HOH, Vince sends home Rachel. Third HOH, Vince sends home Keanu. That's a winner's resume right there. But Vince has fumbled the ball so badly that I do think it's tough. And I've done jury math. I think it's tough in any situation for him to win. And I don't think he knows that, which is really interesting, because I think we saw this when Mickey went home, right? When people don't expect what's going to happen, we get like a very authentic reaction. And I think from Mickey specifically, I mean, we saw her being so shocked with her elimination, because she said, if I'm sitting next to Ashley, there is no way I go home over Ashley. And then we got this beautiful moment. So
not the wow.
Wow.
Nobody cried. Look, hold on, real quick. Nobody cried, and that was the nobody cried. I wouldn't have hugged anybody. Now, one person cried a tear, and she just kept saying, "Wow." No. She was so shocked. I don't know. I mean, let me ask you a question. All of y'all, I'm not saying the people are the Lulu, but I just didn't understand why she was so shocked. I know you can speak for her. I understand that, but I just didn't understand. I know you guys are in the house, you're in a bubble, but even in the house, y'all act like y'all were in the bubble with the house. Like, how was it that it wasn't known? Because, I don't know, there's so much crap being talked. Even now that you're gone, they blamed you for all the bad things. Now they're blaming her. Literally, it's just said the other day, oh, I thought it was Jimmy, it was all Mickey. So I'm like, what are the bad things you guys did that was so bad? You understand what I'm saying? Y'all were playing the game.
I think there's such a mismatch sometimes between what's actually happening and people's perception of the game. And that's why I always said to Mickey when she was going to consider putting me up, I said, your perception does not define my intention. And that's something that we always had to work through a lot in the house itself. I think certain people don't have a level of humility that allows them to believe they're not as good as something as they actually aren't. And I think a lot of us dealt with that in the house. I dealt with that in the house. I thought I was running Vince's HOH. Yet I was this close to being on the block week 1, and I had no idea.
Right.
To this day, didn't have any idea until I was outside of the house. So, but when I was on the block, I was under no illusion that if I hadn't won the blockbuster, that I would stay. I knew I was going home if I hadn't won the blockbuster, even against Kelly, which is a crazy situation to get through. But I don't know how you don't have that understanding of what's going on in the house, because I did. I pride myself in having a pulse of the house. I feel like I did after the first week. The first week, not as much, but I had a pulse of the house, and I just knew. And I also put myself in my shoes. If it was me against Kelly and I was voting, I would have sent myself home too. Kelly wins a blockbuster, but she's beatable in every other aspect. So it makes a lot of sense to keep her there, right?
Right.
I think Mickey thought she was running the house so much that she goes, these people will send home Ashley the first chance they get. And that's the exact opposite of what happened, because Ashley's playing a good game, but people in the house don't see that. And people in the house do view Ashley as beatable, but also more trustworthy than somebody like Mickey. And at the end of the day, I think that's what was her downfall.
Yeah, Rachel kind of said that too, that she gonna trust Rachel over Mickey at any time. So I guess trust Ashley over Mickey at any time. So that makes a lot of sense as well. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, now and the Lawrence, I'm looking at her video right now. She's very upset because she's on the block. But it's like, girl, did you think you was not gonna ever get on the block at all? Like, I mean, it's giving a little bit of leaders to me. Like, you thought you was gonna get on the block. I understand being upset about it, but girl, you better just win blockbuster. That's all I'm trying to say. But my thing is, if Keanu wins a blockbuster, who do you think will go home out of the two? If he wins,
it'd be Kelly and Lauren on the block.
Yeah.
There's 4 votes this week. I think Lauren might go home. I really do, because I think there was such an opportunity to get Kelly out. I think the last opportunity to get Kelly out was when she was sitting next to me, because she lost a blockbuster and you could have sent her home. Mm-hmm. I think her not going home has allowed her to wreak havoc in the house, and people now view her as just either a shield or a bigger target, or a lot of people, I think, view her, and I know Keanu and maybe even Vince views her this way. She's one of the most beatable people you can bring to Final 2, because this jury will not give Kelly the crown. So if I'm Vince or if I'm Keanu, I'm voting to keep Kelly here at all costs, because I can beat her in Final 2. And essentially, we're in Endgame. It's the last 2 weeks of the show. This is Endgame, people. So you have to be playing the game based on who you trust bring you to final two or who you can beat in final two. And for both Vince and Keanu, that is Kelly. I think Ava will probably keep Lauren. I think Ashley will probably keep Lauren. I think Vince. I think Keanu and whoever else is left. Morgan. I think Keanu and Morgan maybe vote to keep Kelly, and then I think Vince probably breaks the tie. So I think Vince maybe even gets to choose. And in that way, I do think he'll probably. I mean, he says he'd send home Kelly, but we'll see. I don't think Vince knows what he's going to do.
I don't think he does either. He's really torn between he's in a romance with two of the girls. He's doing a lot. Like, oh my God, Lauren or Morgan. I don't know. That whole situation is really annoying because none of that is strategy. You guys, like Facebook, MySpace, my friend me, unfriend me. I can't. I just want to see a strategic move being made, even if it pisses off everybody. It's your HOH at the end of the day. Because I agree.
There's something interesting with it, right?
Yes, come on, please. The double eviction, I see Vince going home if he doesn't act right. Because he won't have any power unless he wins the second one. But the first one, whoever gets it, depends who it is. They may decide I'm just going to send Vince home. Period. Because that would be iconic for whoever does it, and that would mean for his resume, you literally did play Morgan's game just to get to the jury. Yep. So what did you do when you won?
Yeah, exactly. And I think we're in a position where, in the next few HOHs, somebody needs to send home Vince, Morgan, and Keanu if they want to win. Those are the top three people in the game right now. And so if you want to win, you need to send one of them home. And if you don't, then you're just going to float your way to finale. You'll get to sit there at finale night and you'll go home with nothing. So
100%.
Good job.
Good job.
Like, they didn't give us floaties in the pool until I left, and I think it's because so many people were floating through this game.
Come on,
give us floaties to the pool, so.
The house is so boring without you guys in it. I'm sorry. Look, the season was actually a little bit lackluster. When you guys left, like, I stopped watching for the live feed. I'm not even gonna hold you. I stopped watching. I just for the clips on Twitter and look for the spoilers CBS sends me. I just leave it at that because it's the same anymore. As a journalist, somebody who watched this for a long time and covering the show such a long time and interviewing cast from the show, it just season was a little bit disappointing. So I wish you could have stayed longer. I believe you could have blew up. You was not scared to put people up, and that's one thing I love about your game. You would get HOH and just make the move. I feel like everybody else is kind of like, okay, I don't know what to do. Like Lauren, I can't with that. Like, go in the house, get HOH, win, do what you gotta do, whatever. I wish you would have left.
No, I agree with you though. The whole I don't know shit has been pissing me off this whole season because I infamously had the earliest nomination ceremony because, we do HOH on Thursday, noms on Friday. Mm-hmm. I had the earliest nomination ceremony because they're usually a little flexible based on conversations. I literally looked at a camera at 12:30 in the morning and I said, I'm done with conversations. Let's have our ceremony. We had our ceremony done by 1:45. Most ceremonies don't happen until the deadline is 6 o'clock Pacific time. Yeah. So most happen at 4, 5, 6. Mine happened at literally 1:30 because I was ready to go. And I always tell people, I'm like, you know what's true in this game. You know what moves are going to be good for your game. Don't let people organize campaigns and come to you during your HOH one-on-ones and distract you from what you know to be true. And unfortunately, that happened with Mickey. That's happened. Morgan's done that to a few times with a few different people, and it drives me nuts a little bit. I agree.
No, the thing about it, I wish you would have left. Like I kept saying, I wish you would have left out the door and just went off on everybody. Like, your game is trash.
I thought about it, but they were all expecting it. They all told me they expected fireworks. So it's expect the unexpected. So I wanted to do the exact opposite of that. I did plant seeds before I left. I wanted to blow up people's games. I told Ashley that even though she thinks she's close to Zach, that Zach would put her up. And that led to them having multiple conversations after I left. Mm-hmm. I told people that, if you get rid of Morgan, then you can pull Mickey back into your circle. So I was planting a lot of seeds against Morgan. I went to Vince and I said, just so you know, Zach and Morgan have a final 2, and they're looking to get rid of you at their earliest opportunity. That wasn't true, but I thought it would really mess with his head. I opened a condom box and left a condom out. I did these little things that mess with the house a little bit. So even if I didn't call everybody out before I left, I wanted to make sure I planted a few seeds that would continue to grow even after I left.
So my final question: do you want to do reality TV again outside of Big Brother? There's so many things out there. I can see you on Traders. Oh my God, I can see you on Traders. Just different things. I know you. It's contrasting. You can't say too much, but is that something you would do in the future if the opportunity came to your lap?
Yeah, the opportunity. The answer is absolutely yes. I would, because one of the things I do wish I got to show a little bit more is, so I wish I'd had a little bit more time to get ready for the show. So I was a very last minute addition to casting. So, like what I'm saying is I would love to do something like Traders where I have an opportunity to put some really cute outfits together because I love an outfit. I've turned an outfit. I didn't really get to do that a whole lot on the show just due to a lot of different requirements we have based on like fabrics and colors and copyrighted artwork. And I had like a few weeks before I left. So it was like versus some people having a few months. Long story short, the answer is yes. Whenever somebody calls, Jimmy probably says yes because I love the industry. I love the game, and even playing different games, I'm excited to throw my hat in the ring. So I'm looking forward to it, and who knows, you'll be seeing Jimmy on a screen near you in no time.
Well, I applied for Traders, the one the non-celebrity. So
Yeah.
somebody put a word in for me, so I could be a villain on it, so I could be a trader. Please, somebody hit somebody up, say yes. Commissioner Reviews will be on there, and she'll be iconic and very much of it, and will eat down the entire
You would
season.
be down, yes. They would need to feed you. You'd be so down, yes.
First of all, thank you so much for coming on my platform. Thank you for the follow and the love. Thank you, shout out to my brother Big D, who helped me out with this as well. Damn. I know that was an accident. Wait. I'm like, wait. I didn't even have to.
um, you said, "Damn!" Didn't even give me a chance to say goodbye before you just left.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was fun. It was funny to me. I knew it was an accident, but
I'm so sorry. I was like, I like clicked something and it like swiped, and I was like, "What happened?" I'm still like a TikTok newbie, so I'm still
you
getting
know, sometimes I have issues. I took myself on my own live one day, so don't feel bad. So, no, I want to say thank you so much for coming on my live. Shout out to my brother Big D, my family. Just I appreciate Big D, but I appreciate you even more for the follow and the love and coming on. It's been awesome. I will continue to follow your content. Same with me. Hope one day in the future we get into the conversation after this whole thing is over. I would love to have you on again. Even if I come on your platform, I have no problem with that. Y'all like the live, please. Like the live. We're trying to be some content creators on this there on TikTok, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. I will be back anytime, and thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure.
Thank you, sweetie. I'm gonna actually download this video. I'm gonna post it on the TikTok and everywhere else and tag you in it. So thank you, sweetie. I appreciate it. Love y'all.
Bye,
You should
guys.
be the queen of reality TV, all of reality TV. Period.